That ain't hip hop. What you man?
I tripped the dog.
See? Oh, damn, Ken.
My bad, shit.
Man, that ain't hip hop. Album review, good music, cruel summer, and we got the special guest, Anthony Fantano.
What up, man?
What up, what up? So, Anthony, man, what'd you think of Cruel Summer, man?
I mean, actually, given my past few Kanye-oriented reviews and what people probably would expect from me, I mean, aside from some tracks that I didn't really like, which I think were maybe two, I think there were maybe 2 tracks on here I didn't like at all, but I thought it was a decent compilation. I mean, I ended up liking a good deal of the tracks on here. I mean, yeah, it's kind of like what you would expect from an assembly of rappers that Kanye would put together. You know, they tried their best to match him in having that high class veneer, but also acknowledging that they have no class and that, you know, they're really just like low down and dirty and greedy and whatever. And it's just all over this really extravagantly beautiful production on track after track after track. I love New God Flow. I mean, such great production on that track. The production on the intro, you know, though I didn't really like the R. Kelly hook, was really glamorous as well and extravagant. I also liked, you know, and with weeks of listening to it, I thought that, you know, Theraflu, aka Cold, really grew up on me as well. I mean, I thought that track was pretty great. It just sort of, you know, having a concept in sort of talking about the evolution of just Kanye's just ever-growing, abrasive, you know, personality and the sort of celebrity lifestyle. Though the one thing I guess I was a little disappointed with was just how Kanye and company are kind of openly embracing the whole trap music trend, especially with the Chief Keef, you know, track, though I do think that track is catchy. I expected them to, you know, just Kanye in general, to be more of a trendsetter than a bandwagon jumper. You know, I feel like people would see him more in that light if it wasn't for the fact that he kind of exposed Chief Keef to everybody and kind of, you know, got the ball rolling even more on what career that dude had so far. Overall, you know, it's like the rhymes are what I would come to expect, you know, a lot of them not really being on the level of what Kanye was doing, I thought. And, you know, I mean, one of the only tracks I was like really kind of, I want to say disgusted by or just like really offended by was the Kid Cudi track. I mean, that dude like wasn't singing very well at all on that song, and I didn't really get the concept of what he was going for on that song. Myke is totally like pissed off, right? That's why. But I did not like the Cudi track, man. I just did not like that Cudi track. Like I said earlier, that R. Kelly hook toward the beginning, like, you know, really disappointed me as well. But for the most part, I just really like listening to these songs because it's just like, you know, fucking it, you know?
I agree with the intro. When I turned it on, I'm like, oh, okay, well, you know, you got R. Kelly. R. Kelly really hasn't been putting out nothing and stuff. And when I heard him, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, I did not like R. Kelly on that either, man.
What's wrong with you?
What do you mean what's wrong with me? I'm like the biggest R. Kelly fan.
Man, what the fuck? That's my damn sucks. It's the boy. You at the dead end of your career, Feefo. Let's go call him bumping the whip at the dead end. That was enough.
But yeah, I did not like the intro, and I was like, damn, I wonder if I'm gonna like, you know, the rest of the compilation. But I felt it for the most part. There was a couple tracks that I wasn't really fucking with. Sahai was randomly placed on this joint. I thought he was probably gonna be on a little bit more, but he wasn't. But I think Sahai, for the little bit that he had, he shined in this little 2 seconds of fame on this mixtape. Like, The Morning, when I first heard that track, The Morning, I was like, oh, okay, Kanye's trying to go for the old school clip sound where it's like a real simplistic beat, but you got these guys like really killing it. And when Sahai came on, I was like, oh shit, okay, let me rewind this one more time and let me listen to everybody even harder. He made me listen to everybody closer. But I think that was my favorite track on here. Obviously, I love Mercy, but I'm not gonna name the single, you know what I'm saying? shit I don't like. For the most part, I fuck with it. It's like 2 or 3 tracks that I just cannot. It shouldn't even been on here.
What 2, 3 tracks?
The intro, Bliss.
You didn't like the intro at all? The entire intro?
The entire thing.
Even Kanye's verses?
You didn't like Kanye's verse on that?
Okay.
He killed that song.
Yeah,
Nigga, Rami don't pay no
but I'm just saying.
Rami don't pay no tax. These niggas don't even. These niggas.
But I'm just, for me, R. Kelly killed it that bad for me.
Are you? I don't understand.
Like Kanye did his thing, but I just did not like the song.
That was like my favorite shit. You didn't like the part about the couch? The whole world is a couch. Bitch, I'm Rick James tonight. I don't give a fuck.
No.
I don't give a fuck.
I'm saying, because the thing is, like, that intro is just, like, so bad, like, it's not even worth it to sit through the rest of it. It's like,
I'm in the
AI, motherfucker, I just don't care.
I thought I was the only one that liked it.
Yeah, Twisted Sister.
I didn't mind it. I thought it was cool. I don't give a fuck. That shit was
I kept hearing Trey Songz.
fuck Trey Songz, man. It's R. Kelly, bitch.
Like, this project was alright. It was alright. It was average. I think for the high point for me for this album was New God Flow. I think Pusha T sounded so focused. Kanye West, that was the Kanye West I was hoping to expect throughout this compilation of his appearances. But you know, I was kind of, I wanted more Kanye West production too. I mean, I thought I was gonna get some like produced by Kanye West, produced by Kanye West. I thought I was gonna get all that.
Oh.
But for the most part, I mean, this project was cool. I said New God Flow, Click. I mean, for once, this is like what, maybe the first time almost ever, or maybe the second time ever that I liked the actual Big Sean verse. I thought his verse was
the same thing.
Yeah. Oh, you did. Yeah. I thought Big Sean verse was actually pretty good. Like I listened to it.
Click.
Yeah,
he was like,
Click was tight.
I was like, oh, okay, Big Sean. You know, this is my second verse in your whole career that I like from you. So I mean, other than that, what is Click? Yeah, I like that bar he said where he I used to hang with the have-nots to keep the ab hot, so we can have nots. I was like, oh shit, Sci-Hi, that was dope as hell. Like I said before, man, Sci-Hi has some good bars. Pusha T, to me, Pusha T and Sci-Hi.
Okay, but the thing is, like, on that same, the start of that verse is really good. And like toward the end, he totally like loses the concept, and then he drops that line about she rode a broom on the beach. That's a sandwich.
Yeah,
like, really?
He can't help it.
Yeah, but I still like Sci-Hi on
There's
this.
like some lines, you know? There are some lines that are like, what?
But Sci-Hi and Pusha T to me were the highlights. And the Kid Cudi song, how could you not like that?
You both. Tell me why you like the Kid Cudi song. I'm interested.
I mean, it took me back to that the man of the
honestly,
moment.
I couldn't deal.
You didn't like the production?
It was that bad?
It was that bad?
I didn't like the production. I thought the singing was really
But
off. I mean,
Kid Cudi can't sing.
He can't
He always
sing.
sounds like that.
That's Man of the Moon Kid Cudi right there.
I know. Just like was especially just like I couldn't handle it. You know.
That was one of my New God Flow. That was one of Creepers. That was one of my favorite joints, man. I love that joint. And
to me, Click, Mercy, New God Flow, The Morning, Cold. The album is really solid. And then when Higher comes in, it just starts feeling okay, and things kind of just start getting really, you know.
Yeah, towards the end. Yeah, towards the end, it kind of died down.
I think B said it best. I think this shit is by averages at best. I don't know about this album. I really don't. I think
That's what I was about to say, man.
yeah,
Like
I just don't know what to say. You know what? I think it's this to me is like a slew of songs. And I understand it's a compilation and that's what you do with them, but it sounds like it's just a bunch of leftover songs that Kanye just had hanging out. He just
it didn't sound like
I'm not saying that they're bad songs. I just think it's not as cohesive as I thought it should be.
My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy? Is that what it was?
I don't know.
It's not a Kanye album.
Yeah,
I know it's not a Kanye album, and I think maybe if it would have dropped at the beginning of the summer, it would sound a little bit better because it's
different. Wait, hold on.
What does that even mean?
So music and seasons is
That's some girl shit, ain't it?
not girl
Like,
shit.
Girl shit. I want to get this
because it has a nice light sound to it.
Kanye don't go hard in the fall.
I know, right? What does that even mean?
We need him early 2012.
Spring album. This is a spring album.
There's this called for a reason. It's supposed to have all these
2 minute films and shit. 2 snaps on the pitches.
I don't understand the logic in this.
It just doesn't sound cohesive to me. It doesn't flow well at all. I mean, and there's nothing against the songs or anything like that, because I think they definitely have some great songs on here. But I think when I listen to some of the songs that are on here, some of the songs that he's dropped already, New God Flow, Mercy, you know, Cold, Theraflu. So I understand that they're singles, but
bonus tracks?
We're just not understanding your gripe with this. It doesn't.
It's not.
You don't just like the album.
No, it's not a piece of problem, but it's nothing. It's like when I listen to this album, it's nothing to make me go, "Wow, this shit is great," or "Mel, you need to check out."
But you like the songs though.
New Kanye because they're high power singles.
You heard what he said?
They have power.
No, before that. You heard the new Kanye. It's not a Kanye album. It's a compilation.
Good music compilation.
Get over it. It's not a Kanye album.
And I tried to adjust my listening to reflect that, but it didn't work because Rick Ross dropped 2 compilations and they sound more cohesive than this project.
Because one person produced the whole fucking thing, didn't they?
No.
It sounds.
Well, see, that's kind of the point. It's like Kanye is supposed to be spearheading this new music group, and you know, with the quality of what we've heard here, it kind of leaves you wondering whether or not there's really even a point to all this, or if it's even that focused. You know what I mean? Like, the thing is, like, Lil Wayne and Young Money, and then you have Maybach Music. Like, whether or not you actually like all of their music, everybody who's a part of those respective groups are much more on the same page than everybody on this compilation. You know, and that's essentially what the point I know Ken is saying. You know, it's like, while, you know, good music is an entity, what is the sound of good music? You know, it's like, you can't help but feel like at this point, Kanye's trying to pull together his own rap clique just to kind of do it, you know, and kind of be in that same lane that everybody else is competing with to an extent. But then again, it's like, has a guy like Kanye ever really even needed to do that? You know, because of his rapping ability and because of his production ability and his ability to just like pick out sounds that people want to hear and, you know, be a trendsetter and be this guy who's one step ahead of everybody else. You can't help but feel like adding everybody else into the equation kind of dilutes the end product.
Me?
Yeah, I'd rather.
I'm Mace from.
Right, yeah, and I'd rather.
We'll get to that in a minute. You're just trying to find every negative thing you can find.
There's not negative. I mean,
Mace was a negative, bro.
No, but I'm saying is, as soon as I heard it, I talked to Rod. I was like, I don't know about this. So and I've given this thing like 7 more listens, and I just cannot really fully get behind it. And it's not like I'm saying the songs are terrible on here. It's just like what? Yo, it's just like what is the purpose behind it? I don't quite get it.
Okay, I don't disagree necessarily with what you're saying. I think I would just get it more if you did say, I don't like the songs. I would be like, oh, okay, I understand you're not liking it. But you being upset that the songs don't all sound similar makes no sense to me. It's a compilation. Why does Kanye need to grab all of these artists and put them over the same beats that he goes over? The fact that the album was diverse was the thing that I did like about it. Now, there were some songs I thought were horrid towards the end of the album. Once Higher hit, it went downhill. That City Dream, what was it called? Sin City, that was terrible.
The Dream.
And the song The Dream.
Oh, you don't like Sin City? I like Sin City.
No, Sin City was terrible.
I like Sin City.
But I don't understand. I'm missing the gripe. And I'm not saying you guys are wrong. Don't take me as being offensive. I'm just saying, like, I don't get your point. Like, your point is missing me. Like you want this album. It's not a Kanye West album. I thought as a compilation, it was good. As an album, I would have had the same issue that you guys have. But it's a compilation. Whenever you buy a compilation, it's supposed to be a bunch of tracks of different artists. They're not all supposed to sound the same. I think this is the best thing Kanye could have done, was grab all these dudes and say, do you? Why do like Rick Ross and put them all over the same fucking production? I don't want to hear Kid Cudi rapping over Kanye production. I don't want to hear Common rapping over My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy type of production. I liked what he did with this album. Even though some songs I didn't like, I thought what he did was fine. That's why I don't really get you. I don't really get you guys.
I mean,
I think Kid Cudi was the closest one that actually did a song that resembles his previous work.
exactly. Like,
I think everybody else is doing.
I think everybody else came up short. And then another thing. And then another thing. But it didn't even seem like a good music showcase. I mean, you got Raekwon on it, you got Ghostface on it.
One verse.
I'm just saying, but it just didn't feel like a good music compilation. What was Most Def? What was Most Def at?
Good music showcase. Like when you walk away from this album, do you want to walk away and go find and listen to some of these artists that may be on display for some of that?
But everybody else that was good, yeah, I want to walk away and see what Pusha T does. I want to go check out.
But you didn't want to do that before this, before this compilation. You didn't want to see what Pusha T wanted to do.
From an ignorant standpoint of like a person.
No, I'm just saying, like, after listening to this, like, just like what he's saying, like, what are you really taking away from this? Was this really necessary to do this compilation album? Because you already wanted to see what Pusha T was gonna do. You already was kind of curious to see what Saha can do. You know he has skills.
Well, that's kind of unfair. It's a good music comp with people that are already established. If there was a bunch of randoms, it'd be a different story. If all the randoms were spitting like the people were spitting on this album, hell yeah, I'm gonna go check them out. But these are all established artists. Same thing with Maybach. Same thing with fucking Young Money. These are already established artists. That's why I'm still missing the grind.
But the people that could have used the shine didn't even get it.
Like
he gave it to Big Sean. He gave it to 2 Chainz.
But who needed it?
I think Saha could have used some shine.
Definitely.
I mean,
definitely
I don't
could.
even know if Mace is on it, but
He's not on music.
Would we want to walk away and listen to what he's doing?
See, you're picking the worst example.
Where is Most Def at? Where is Most Def?
I agree with you on
What
that.
the fuck is Most
I agree
Def?
with you on that.
I feel like overall this is Kanye just kind of like taking the extravagant sound that he's been working with since My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy and since the Watch the Throne album, even though a lot of the production is not his, but kind of simplifying a little bit down for single consumption, and for the most part it worked. I mean, I feel like all the tracks that they dropped beforehand were really good. I agree with Myke, it's a compilation, the good music, unlike Young Money and unlike Maybach music, they're a label that has more variety, and the compilation definitely reflects that. But the question kind of comes up like, okay, what do you guys really do together? And yeah, you could make the argument that this is a compilation. It's going to be all over the place. There are going to be tracks that you don't like. But a lot of these tracks were like made for this. You know what I mean? A lot of these are new tracks. It's not like they didn't have the opportunity to make these songs a little bit more in line with one another. It's not like a lot of these tracks, couldn't have been, produced to kind of be in line with what was going on at the first half of the album.
I would want a compilation to be a mixture of all kinds of different shit. Like, I don't want the compilation to sound fucking
better
the same.
mixture.
See, that's the difference. See, you keep going back and forth. Either you don't like the songs, which I can understand, or you keep saying that they sound different and I don't understand why, da-da-da-da. So which one is it? If you don't like the songs, I got nothing to say.
No, I said that there was the top half
was good,
and then I said it fell off and on the bottom half.
So that's your complaint?
And it's not a cohesive project. It doesn't flow very well.
That's the part that doesn't make sense. It's not supposed to be. It's a comp. It's not an album. You keep saying you're a new Kanye album. It's not a Kanye album. Leave Kanye alone. Give the guy a break. It's a good music comp.
This Kanye, I can't give him a break.
Okay, well, and that's the thing. See, now we're getting down to nitty-gritty.
Everything's animated heartbreak.
I fully understand this is a compilation.
I can definitely see what Ken would have wanted out of this album because it's like, I think he's thinking more potential than anything. It could have been pretty awesome, even with Kid Cudi and 2 Chainz, 2 rappers who are perceived to be, on very polar opposites in a lot of ways. It would have been awesome to see Kanye pull everybody together and kind of create something that they wouldn't be able to separately. It's like that. I don't really feel like that happened here.
Right.
Well, and
while it is a compilation, it would have been even better as a fully realized album that they came together.
If you did that, the entire fucking album sounded the same, and everybody was rapping over typical Ye production, you guys would still complain.
It's not about them rapping. Well, for me, I think it's a little slightly different from Ken. It's just like, okay, you got R. Kelly. Why not use John Legend?
Because
it's
John
like
Legend ain't R. Kelly.
But I'm just saying, like, why?
Can you see John Legend singing that shit, Rod? Think about it.
But he could have did something different to it.
He didn't want to. Think about Ye. Think about how Kanye is. He's arrogant. He's cocky. He's an asshole, right? Think about the intro to this fucking mix.
It was. I didn't think it was good. It wasn't good.
I mean, if you don't like it, but swapping R. Kelly out for John Legend is a bad idea.
I'm not saying swap them out for that in particular. I'm saying use them for something else. You have John Legend, so do a different type of song. Showcase your artist.
A different type of song.
I'm just saying, showcase your artist. You got Raekwon, you got Ghostface. Although I'm not mad at it, but I'm saying showcase your artist. Throw Sci-Hi on that track instead of Raekwon. You got Jadakiss on it. It's just all these other artists.
That was on a remix.
But I'm just saying, I'm like, God damn, how many not good artists is on this shit?
You know what?
I'm like, God damn.
It's a really good point because a lot of the best verses come from people who are not
Exactly.
No, come on.
Wait.
Come on now. Are you serious?
Come on, when Ghostface came on, you was like, oh shit.
Because it's typical Ghostface. We always say oh shit. You always say oh shit when racist. You're not being fair. When Jadakiss came on, you didn't go oh shit.
Jadakiss was terrible.
Alright then. You can't use Ghostface.
Mace was terrible.
Mace was horrible.
Mace
I know,
was
so
bad.
why put Mace on with your bougie butt? I don't know, nobody didn't know Mace. No, I agree with you on that. I don't know why they put Mace on the
Man, for me, this was a compilation. I thought it was a pretty good compilation. Could have been better, yeah, because there were some tracks that I thought should have not been on here whatsoever. But with that being said, I enjoyed it. I'm definitely bumping this shit. It's definitely bumping in the whip. And I can't remember your name, but to the commenter on the last motherfucking on Rhapsody, I believe. It bumps on the bus line. It bumps on wherever the fuck you listening to it. If you got some headphones, it bumps, man.
This project was pretty average. I liked the majority of the first half. Only second half joint I liked was the Cudi joint. I love that Cudi joint. R. Kelly joint, I don't give a fuck what none of y'all say. I like To the World. Shit, damn it. I was like, this shit, I like how this shit started off. But you know, overall, it was an average project. It's a compilation. You know, I would have liked to have a little bit more Kanye West production, like beats, because I'm a huge Kanye West fan as a producer. So that was my only disappointment. You know, shout out to Big Sean for having a stellar verse, Pusha T having stellar verses, Sci-Hi.
I think this was a good compilation. It was not an album. Kanye could have done better by making better songs with those 4 that I thought were fucking terrible. But at the same time, somebody might like those 4 because it's a compilation. Somebody might be looking at this and saying, I want to hear some John Legend. Anyway, overall, I agree with B. I thought it was average simply because the tracks that I liked, I didn't think were amazing, but I liked them. The tracks that I didn't like, I thought were fucking horrible. So, those don't really equal out to a great, you know, cohesive project. It wasn't supposed to be.
You know what, man? This one is funny to me. I just, you know, it wasn't a cohesive project as a whole. I think when I think of a good music compilation, I thought I was going to get a showcase of his roster of talent that he has on the label, and I didn't get that. I got a bunch of songs with a bunch of MCs on it, you know, all in one. It's just kind of cluttered to me. It didn't really flow very well. I think the top half of the album was good. I think the second half just kind of fell off tremendously. But I think we're all kind of in agreement with that here, so I don't think what I'm saying is too off base.
Despite some album compilation semantics that went on in this review, I actually came out liking this thing overall. But like what Myke says, it's a compilation. If you're going to pick this album or a compilation up, you're better off doing it digitally. You're better off doing it on iTunes because chances are you're going to be deleting, you know, a good chunk of tracks on here for sure. But I thought overall it was still pretty likable and it definitely showcased all of the talent good music has to offer, although maybe there was a little bit too much outsourcing in terms of features, but you know, still a good collection of tracks overall. Dead End Hip Hop, Cruel Summer, That's That Shit I Do Like, forever.